Yeah.
Uh, I didn't get that actually. I'm getting error. Drill through.
Maybe you have to check some dataset code and somewhere you might have done some mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, do it properly from the scratch by following the class video, and then you can get it. If not, you can message me. I'll connect with you at my free time.
Yeah.
Mostly it will work. Guys, did anyone successfully completed practicing drill through? Or no one didn't get time? I think no one practiced it. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. So guys, we have done with the development part in SSRS. See, once we develop any reports, so we need to deploy it to the server, right? See, once you're done developing a report in SSRS Visual Studio, but we cannot give the Visual Studio to the users, right? So it's not the ideal way to execute a report through the Visual Studio. Being a developer, we can, but being a business user, they'll expect the reports to be in the web user, or maybe if they want to access the report from the mobile also, we have to give the access to them, right? So even in mobile also, it's a web URL, right? So they can open the Chrome and then they can view their reports, right? See, basically to deploy these reports, you just need to provide an URL. If you right click here and go to properties, see here there is, you can see target server URL, right? So here in real time, our admin guys will create one link for you, https:// and then report server dot something like this, they'll enter, and then this URL, they'll map it with the report server. See, they'll copy this URL. Once they'll create it here in the target server URL, and if you go to web browser, they'll just paste this URL and then they'll enter report services in web URL. So basically here we cannot access it. We need to configure, right? So for that we need some basic configuration details. We don't have it in our laptops, and basically they'll in real time they'll some plugins and configure. So you no need to worry. It should configure by the admin guys. It's not our work. Okay. So they'll create a web URL for us, and then we have to upload all our RDLs to that. So it will be like, I'll show you how you need to upload it. These are the setting related things. So I just need to view report server images. See here they'll use the target server URL, all right? And then once they'll do it, yeah. See here in this image, you can see once we go to this page, see there is HTTP localhost reports, right? So there will be URL created by the admin team, and then they'll provide that URL. So once you open the web URL, and the screen will display like this. Okay. You just need to upload the file. So click on upload and then you can upload your RDL. See, wherever your RDL is there, you need to just browse it, right? So browsing in the sense, browsing this path, wherever you have saved your RDLs. So if you right click and open containing folder, you can see your all of your RDLs, right? We have created the reports. You need to point this file, report definition language file. Okay. And I'll show you one more image. Guys, you no need to worry about this. So not all the projects will have the same process, right? See, once you upload your RDLs, the page will look like this. See, here you can see new folder. See, if you want to create a new folder and then you want to place your RDLs, you can create a new folder by this option, new data source, and upload a file. There is an option. Upload file is nothing but if you click on it, it will open the browser. I mean, it will open the pop-up asking us to browse the path, like you do it in the, see here, if you open file connection manager, it will ask for browse, right? So let's wait. See, like this, right? The same way, the browse option will be enabled once you click on upload file, right? And then you need to browse your RDLs. And if you want to download the RDLs, which is there in the report server, you just need to click on the icon here and then download it. See, if you want to add any report which is there in the report server to your local Visual Studio, you just need to go to that link and then you can see arrow mark here. If you click on it, it will download and then you can add it to your SSRS solution by right clicking on the solution and add existing item, right? Add existing item, you can browse that path wherever you have downloaded your RDL from the report server, right? So that is one more thing you need to know. And most of the times in real time, guys, see, either there will be two options. One is right click and then deploy. See, if I do now right click and deploy, it will ask for the target server URL is not valid. So we need to provide that URL, then only it will deploy to the report server. In real time, the admin guys will configure the report server URL for you. And if you right click and deploy it from here, this RDL will go and deploy to this report server path wherever they have configured it. All right. So this is one way, and the other way is I told you right just now, browse. So go to report server and then upload a RDL file. So those are the two options you can deploy your reports to the report server. Okay. Yeah, this is the deployment of SSRS RDLs. It will be just to the report server URL, which is a web URL. It will be easy only. Just going to that link and then upload a file. That's it. Yeah. And then once you upload the RDL, so you basically need to configure few things, which is subscriptions. There is a concept called subscription. A subscription is nothing but, see, if you go to report manager, that is also URL. Once you go to that path, you can see there is an option called subscriptions. Okay. And you need to create one new subscription. If you click on that, then this page will open, right? Where you want to use this subscription. A subscription is nothing but sending a report format to the particular users in a particular format, right? I repeat it. A subscription is nothing but sending a report format to the particular user at particular point of time in a specified format, right? So we have two types of subscriptions. One is standard subscription. And the second one is data-driven subscription. See, in standard subscription, if you create an option here, if you choose option as a standard subscription, then what you need to do is it will allow the user to send a report snapshot in a specified format to only few people. Only one format to only few people. But when it comes to the data-driven subscription, we can send report multiple persons in multiple formats. These options we have to choose it in the web URL report manager, right? Here you can see subscription settings, and then you need to configure it. But basically all these subscriptions, see, since I have to tell you as the interview point of view, I'm telling it, but usually the subscriptions, and once you deploy RDL, so rest all giving a permissions, all those things will be taken care by your team lead or manager who is handling that reports, right? You don't need to worry on that. In interview also, if they'll ask you, since I'm a junior resource, I'll just upload the RDL to report server, and the subscription part, and also the roles. Roles is nothing but, so there is one more options which is in the web URL. It is related to the giving permissions to users based on their roles, which means, see, let's say you have uploaded one report to the report server. Okay, let's say here there is a report, and you need to give access this report to the specified persons, right? So that depends on their usage. See, whether some manager doesn't want to view few RDLs, then we should not give access to them, right? So based on their usage, we have to give access to the specified persons. So that giving access to the specified person will collect as a roles, will create a role, and then we'll assign those roles to the particular users, which means who has to view the report, right? So all those permissions will be taken care by your team lead or manager. So your job is to just upload the RDLs to the report server, right? And then the subscriptions also, you can just tell the definition. Okay, so you can say subscriptions are nothing but delivering a report to the particular users in a particular format. We have two types of subscriptions: standard subscription and then data driven subscription. In standard subscription, we can send the report format in a single format to the only specified users, in the sense only few persons. And when it comes to the data driven subscription, we can send the report to multiple users in the multiple formats. Options will be more in the data driven subscription. If they'll ask you more about the subscription settings and all, so you can directly tell, say, I don't have access to set the subscriptions. My manager or team lead used to take care, you can say, right? So basically they won't ask you, but safer side I'm telling you. Okay. And did I miss anything? Guys, did you all go through that, how to upload a resume to Naukri? Any questions on that? I think no one is following the instructions up to date. Okay, that's fine. Guys, at least try to prepare it from today onwards. At least spend some 2 to 3 hours of time. Okay, so do revision from SQL Server onwards. So maybe within 3 or 4 days you can finish the SQL, and within 3 or 4 days you can finish SSIS. Only 2 days for SQL Server reporting services, right? So in next 10 days, if you concentrate easily, you can complete all MSBI videos, and also with practice you can, right? So try to note it down all the definitions in a WordPad or notebook. I prefer to enter the instructions in the Word document. Why? Because if you want to give interview yourself, you can just open the document, and by looking at it also you can say the answers, right? So if you have a Word document here, you can just search it, right? So based on their question, you can search and tell the answers by looking at the document, right? So that's what I prefer, but up to you whether you want to note your notes in your notebook, or it may be in the notepad, I mean Word document. Okay. And when coming to the interview point of view, guys, so you no need to worry about the interviews. See, whatever we have covered as part of this training, 95% you will get questions, whatever we have discussed in the class, even with queries as well, right? So let me quickly go through all the questions. So first, let me start with SQL. Okay. See, basically, guys, I think I have provided you the introduction, what you need to tell. If they'll ask you, tell me about yourself in the how to upload resume to Naukri video. I think I have shared with you last day before yesterday, yes. So you can watch, you can go through that video, and you have to give introduction accordingly. And then, see, once you give your introduction, don't give much explanation about the project. Okay. So you don't need to provide explanation about the project until unless if it is a manager and you need to provide. Otherwise, don't dig into the project much. And then once you explain about yourself, then they'll go with the questions. Okay. So they'll ask you how much you rate yourself in SQL, in SSIS and SSRS. Out of 5 or 10, they'll ask you. If it is 5, tell them 4. If it is 10, tell them 8. For same, maybe SSRS you can give less, 3 and 7. For SSIS also same you can give. Out of 4, out of 5, I can rate myself 4. Out of 10, I can rate 8. We can say. Okay. So that means how much expertise you are with the SQL. That is what they are asking about the each topic. Rate yourself. Right. And then when it comes to the SQL topics, they'll ask you mostly questions about differences between CTE and temp table. Okay. And then what are joins? And they will give you a scenarios as well, right? So like providing 2 tables, table A, ID, and they'll give 1, 1, 1, 0, and then table B, ID, 1, 1, 1, 2, right? So they'll give you data like this, and then they'll ask you for how many number of records will get it for inner join, how many records for left outer, how many records for right outer, right? So guys, how many records will come for inner join here? Still confusion?
3.
This I'll expect
9.
properly. How many records for inner join?
Yeah,
9.
inner join for 9.
How about right outer join?
10.
So how to fetch a record from table A which are not there on the table B? First tell me the output. What will be the output for my question? I want to retrieve only data from table A which is not there on the table B.
ID 0. It will be 0, right? This record. My question is, I want to retrieve data from a table A which is not there on the table B. 0 is the only record which is not there on the table B, right? So how to fetch based on the query here? Which join we need to use? I think I have told you this query in the class. You need to use left outer join. Why? Because all the records from the left table it will fetch. And then in the where clause you need to give where ID b.id is null. Why? Because for this record 0, the right side table value will be null. Correct? Why? Because there is no matching record for this. And if you use where b.id is null, then only this record will, right? So maybe you can watch my joins video recorded session. You will get to know. Okay. So these are the questions they'll ask you in the joins mostly, right? And then second highest maximum salary. How to calculate this, guys?
Not only second, maybe fifth they'll ask. So you need to answer it. Which query we need to use?
Dense rank, CTE.
Dense rank.
Yeah, dense rank with CTE, that query you need to use it. See, if you prepare the notes in a Word document, you can just, you would have, if you write that code in your Word document, so straight away you can wait for some time and then you can copy paste that code in the interview chat session, right? So if they'll ask you the same question, you need to write it. And if you forget syntax also, doesn't matter. You'll just copy it from the file, right? So try to maintain that. And if anyone prepared the notes for all the three topics, so please do share it with me. I'll tell you if any corrections are there. Okay. So and then second maximum salary, they'll ask you about differences between procedure versus function, right? And then performance tuning of for procedure. Okay. And then indexes. So you need to learn pin to pin about the indexes. Okay. And then what else? Maybe they might ask you about differences between car and varchar, but that's up to the interviewer. And then they can touch on the constants. Any question? That may be a difference between unique key and then primary key or any other. Okay. And then string functions, mostly they will not ask in interview, but if they'll ask you, be prepared, guys. So not only these topics, try to prepare all the topics, but try to concentrate more on these topics which I am covering now. And then when it comes to the SSIS, what are the components of SSIS? What are the components, guys?
Control flow, data flow, package explorer.
Yeah. So they can ask you about control flow versus data flow, right? First they'll ask you components and then control flow versus data flow, and then how many types of container available. Containers available in SSIS. Okay. And then performance tuning of SSIS. I told few points, right? So try to remember that. And then differences between synchronous versus asynchronous. Right? The same, you can also call it as blocking versus non-blocking transformations, right? So questions about all the transformations. I cannot give you specific transformations. That depends on the interviewer mind. So which transformation they want to target, they will target the questions on that. Whether it may be SCD, lookup, right? And basically they'll ask you about differences between merge and union OR. Okay. So this will ask you, and then configuration types, and then deployment, right? And then checkpoints. These are very important. All this stuff, right? So configuration, deployment, checkpoints. And then maybe about transactions as well. Very rare they'll ask you, but try to read it out. So you'll be having three options, right? So required, not required, and then supported. And then when it comes to SSRS, they'll ask you about components of SSRS, and then differences between drill down versus drill through. And also differences between tablix versus matrix. And This cascade parameters report. You deploy your SSRS reports. So you just need to answer like, so we'll deploy our SSRS reports to the report server, and either we can upload the RDL by going to the report server, or from the solution, we'll just right click on the report and then deploy it. Either way, all right? And then they can ask you about what are subscriptions. Just give the definition. If they'll ask you more about that, you can tell. So my team lead used to take care of that. Okay, being a junior resource, we don't have access to that. And then they can ask you about roles. They can directly say roles are specific to the project wise. So my manager used to take care. Okay, even in real time also they will take care of it. So being a developer, we doesn't know to which report has to give permission to the which user. Why? Because the report can be multiple reports will be created by our team, right? So those multiple reports will be utilized by the multiple team managers, the user sides, right? So we don't know who is specific, who is concerned person to view this report, right? So that will be taken care by our manager, who will be in contact with the users, right? So they'll take care of that. And see, yeah, basically for SSRS, you will get, see, if let's say in interview, if you get 10 calls, only 2 calls they'll ask about SSRS, right? So mostly the interview will be in with SQL and SSIS. But rare they'll ask you about SSRS, right? So, and then did I miss out anything? Let me look for the course content. Maybe ranking functions also you should. So in SQL here, I should include ranking functions. Guys, explain the way I have discussed in the class, right? You need to tell definition like we have 3 types of ranking functions: rank, dense rank, and then row number. Rank will allow gaps in assigning the ranks, whereas the dense rank, it won't allow the gaps. And row number will uniquely assign the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. If you take an example of 100, 90, 90, and 80 marks, the rank will be 1, 2, 2, and then 4. 3 will be skipped. And for dense rank, it will be 1, 2, 2, and 3. There won't be a skipping in the ranks. And whereas for row number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is how you need to explain the ranking functions.
Yeah, Amar.
Then sometimes they might ask you about views. Why did anyone call?
Yeah. Amar, we get a job like doing all these like SSRS and SSIS. It's compulsory, or we'll get chance like doing only one thing, SSIS
Hello,
as a junior developer.
can you hear me?
Yeah, Amar.
I can't hear you clearly. Your voice is too low.
Now?
No, same. How about others, guys? Are you able to hear her clearly?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we are able.
Yes.
Issue from my side. Okay, yeah, tell me.
Sir, her doubt is, so we get the job in SSIS SQL only, or combination of these 3? That is her doubt.
So that depends. See, that's what I told you, right? The openings, the interview openings will be for only SQL. Sometimes only SQL developer will be there. And mostly it will be SQL and SSIS. And very rarely you'll get out of 10, maybe 1 or 2 with SQL and SSRS. And maybe 40% they'll expect all the 3: SQL, SSIS, and then SSRS. So the combination of all 4 are possible. Okay, but in all the 4 opening, SQL is the common, right? So that much importance is there for SQL server. Okay. Any other questions?
Amar, when we need to upload the resume and what about the certificates?
Certificates, see, certificates will be provided to you once you get a offer letter, right? So that you don't need to worry. So you need to concentrate on the interview part. See, when you need to upload.
Amar, in the resume, we need to mention the projects also, right? Projects as well as company, all those things. So we need to be in touch with before uploading the resume. We need to in touch with the consultants, I think, right?
But if you need to go through that, how to upload a resume to Naukri. So if you have gone through that recording, you'll get to know all these answers. See, first thing is you need to send out your email, the existing email to me, resume to me. Email me your resume, whoever wanted to upload your resume to Naukri, and then I'll prepare MSBA resume, and then I'll give it to you. You can just try the uploading it to Naukri. Okay. And then see, once you are see guys, if you have a gap of 4 years at least between the education till now, so I'll suggest you to put more than 4 years. So if you put more than 4 years, the calls will be more. Don't think like if you put 4 years, they'll expect more. So no, it will be same. For 3 to 6 years, the work will be same and expectations also will be same. Okay. So if you have gap of 4 years, so try to put 4 years of experience. I mean, ask me to put 4 years of experience when you are sending out an email to my email. Okay. I'll prepare the resume for you. But before asking me to prepare resume, so try to prepare it well, guys. And the first 2 interviews, try to take it yourself so that you'll get some idea about how the interviews will go and how much you have prepared. So you'll get to know about yourself. So try to attend, or let me know if you want any help from my side. I'll also try to take it, the interviews, or maybe I'll help you during the interview point of time.
Amar, after that, is there any can you help us for 2 to 3 months as a back support? Hello, Amar.
Yeah.
Amar, so after getting the job, so is there any persons to help us for up to 2 to 3 months?
I already answered you, right? Yes, we'll support.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then when it comes to SSIS, so let me check if I missed out any other questions. Guys, try to prepare well. So if you did not prepare well, I can't help you, right? Even though if you get job, if you did not prepare well, you cannot survive, right? That I can tell you. So at least you have to know basics, right? So for that, you need to practice well. Either it might be SQL or SSIS or SS, RS or SSIS. Like an interview, they might ask you, what are the data sources you have used? What data sources you have used, guys? Which data sources you have used? Sorry?
Flat files, Excel,
Flat file, Excel.
OLEDB source.
What are the connection managers we have used in SSIS?
Flat file, Excel, OLEDB.
There is a difference, right, between the data sources and then connection managers?
Don't think so. What are the source we are using? We are creating the same connection managers, right?
The connections.
See, if
For
you
the
use,
same source, we are creating connection manager.
Yes. And what are the things you need to consider when you are working with Excel source?
We need to change 64 bit into 32 bit.
And also data conversion we have to do it.
Data
Yeah,
conversion.
we no need to convert that 64 into 32. It's working for me with 64 as well. I didn't get any error, such error.
Which version
When I
you are
worked.
using?
SSIS, right?
Yes. Which version of Visual Studio you are using? I don't think so. Maybe check once. Guys, did
When I
anyone?
worked, I didn't get that error which you got, right? Which you are doing.
It's coming
You got
issue
that
when
error.
we didn't change.
I didn't get any
It's
error. It worked for me correctly with 64 as well. Yeah.
Someone is saying something?
It's
Yeah.
getting issue when we are using in 64 bit. It's 2019.
Yeah.